who is indefatigable to get live. Oh, Rosemary, you're a trooper.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I'm so sorry for making everybody wait.
No, don't worry about it. I'm sorry
It's
that you're
just
having
not a
to.
technical genius, that I think I am, but I'm not.
I'm sorry that you're having to like hold your phone and go through all of this. Oh my goodness. Do you have it resting on a book?
I have it resting on my elbow.
Oh shoot, that's not going to be very comfortable for very long. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a shorty today, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do this again when you're comfortable. We're going to come
Thank
back when you.
you.
Yes, we're going to come back when you
I'm
have.
so sorry.
Don't be sorry. This way everybody gets to see that you're a real person and you're here and you went through all of this to get here, and look how beautiful you look.
And you look beautiful. I love your hair like that. It's really long now.
No, it's the feathers. My hair's really not long at all. It's the
I
feathers.
have I have nice feathers.
You put a feather. I love it. So Rosemary, oh
Good.
God, it's gorgeous. I love it, and it matches your outfit. So we've had, we lost you. There you are. Okay, there you are. So I have been listening to you. We're going to talk really, we're just going to talk for a few minutes. We can talk for 5 minutes, and then we're going to say goodbye to everybody, and we're going to come back on another day. And by then you're going to find out a way to put in a Zoom password. I'm going to look it up and figure out a way. That's crazy. They wouldn't let you make up a new password. That's
I
crazy.
know. Isn't that weird?
It's crazy.
They wanted to change the whole thing to a more powerful Zoom.
Uh-oh, we lost you again. There you are.
Okay.
So, Rosemary, I just want everybody to know, if they haven't been listening, I've been listening to you all
Thank
day
God.
long.
You
And
are so sweet. And I
no, I
really
have to
appreciate
tell you,
all the work and looking up and, oh, what about that song and this song and, this
no,
picture.
you,
That was
you,
very kind. You should get an
you have,
award for
did you
that.
see the composite that Tony
I
made?
did. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I was
I'm
like,
so glad.
wow, that was so nice. I think he should. He did the composite pictures.
Tony is a woman. Tony Vincent. No, I grabbed some
Sorry.
pictures, and Tony then is an artist, and she puts them all together and makes it look so great. No, it's okay. Tony won't take it
It
personally.
looks so great.
She's wonderful.
Oh,
Yes, and
she's a cat.
she, you are absolutely. I mean, first of all, you've sang with everyone. I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, I can't wait for us to really talk about it, because every one of my heroes. You've sang with every one of my heroes, from Jackson Browne to Bonnie Raitt to Bruce Springsteen to James Taylor. I have a James Taylor story that's not so nice, but I love James.
Oh,
But
it's not so nice. Oh
well, James
dear.
was supposed to do this show, and his wife kind of
Uh-huh.
gave him a little zets and didn't let him do it the night
Oh,
before. Yeah.
oh, that wasn't very nice.
No, it wasn't very nice. But anyway, but you even got to sing with Paul McCartney because you have chutzpah. And I love it. Can you just tell us, can you tell the story, the Paul McCartney story? Because it's so great.
Well, of course, I was a fan because I was playing left-handed bass.
Oh,
And I learned how to sing harmonies and stuff from listening to the Beatles. And Paul was my favorite. I used to draw their faces in art class. I just was like smitten. And so I almost got to go to his house several times
what?
because I was on the road. Well, because of Peter Asher, who he used to
Oh,
live with, okay, who was James's manager and Linda's manager, and how many millions of other people's managers. And James would go, oh, yeah, we got a day off. I think I'll go to Paul's house. And I went, can I go? And I should have said, oh, that would be fun and be real cool, so that he doesn't think we don't want a drooling fan over there trying to get his autograph. But I lost one. Then I was singing with Kenny Loggins, who I love, and I sang on his records.
I heard
He
you and
sang
Kenny
on my
singing
record.
together. I heard you guys sing together. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's gorgeous. Yeah, go ahead.
I could hear, we made a choir, the two of us, and I could hear what his muse was telling him before he told me.
Wow.
It was so tight. It was so nice. It was just wonderful. Anyway, so he wanted it was at the Hollywood Bowl for Earth Day. And
What year was
he
it?
had
The
written
first Earth Day?
I don't think so.
No.
No, but it was Earth Day, and he had written so many songs. He's very into it, and so am I. And so he asked me to put a choir together to back him on that. And of course, I said, "Of course, I'll do that." And then I found out that Paul was on the show and Ringo. And I went up to Peter and I went, I think we could go na 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 na. And he goes, okay, go ahead. So Paul didn't do all those riffs out. He let everybody in the choir do them.
Oh. Oh, that's so great.
We were so high from it, we were like, oh my God, I actually got to meet my hero, and sing with him. That was so thrilling. Yeah.
But you've had
And
so
then
many. Oh, go ahead.
I sang on Ringo's album.
Oh, gee. I've gotten to meet Ringo a few times. He's a sweetheart.
Isn't he sweet? He's like this uncle you always knew, but and he was so chill. He was very chill. He went into the studio and pretended that the microphone was from Yellow Submarine. He's going, pilot to captain, pilot to captain. I'm like laughing my ass off. It was sweet. He was playing with me. That's
Oh,
all. And
boy.
singing with me. Yeah, it was really sweet. And when I was in my all-girl band and
Which
dreaming
was
about,
way before you were way before your time. I mean, you were like one of the first all-girl bands.
well,
Yeah.
there's always been girl bands, but we
But like that played your own instruments, that wasn't always a thing.
no, it was like, oh, you can't play bass, you're a woman. I mean, you can't play drums, you are a woman, or maybe you're not. It's against the law to do that, isn't it? But anyway, it was very sweet. I mean, I remember the first time Ray Charles calls me. How he got my number, I have no idea. So
What?
he goes, "This is Ray. I want you to sing on my record." And I said, "Oh, you sound just like him." He goes, "I am him." And I went, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Was that your first session?
With him?
But you had done sessions already.
Oh, yeah. I did sessions since I was about 16.
So how did we're doing the interview and I feel terrible because you're holding your phone. How did you get your first session?
Well, our band recorded, we were signed to ABC Dunhill.
This was the Ladybird, this was the Ladybirds.
The Ladybirds, we recorded ourselves. We were on United International, which was the name of the label that, our producer made up, but we
Yeah, but
did
you
get
got
to
to
open
open
for
for the
the,
Stones when you were with Ladybirds, right? I mean, that's crazy. How did you do that?
well, how did we do that? I was a Beatle fan, so I wasn't paying much attention to the guys that talk about the devil. And I was still in high school, and we got this gig to open for them, and we went and we opened for them, and I was like standing, like underneath the stage and looking up. And in those days, they didn't allow anybody on, if you're at a, football field or something, you have a football field and then the seats, and you're supposed to
Right,
stay in your seat.
right.
And they let us stand there because we were in the show. Anyway, so they come in in a Brinks armored truck. Because I guess
What?
they get so grabbed and,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
all that stuff. So then they come on and they're doing their show and everything. And I'm like, oh my God. And and then they did This Could Be the Last Time. And everybody jumped out of their seats and ran across the football field and jumped on the stage and were pulling their hair and,
Oh my God.
trying to, get their guitars and stuff. It was really frightening. I'd never gone
Wow.
to a place or a gig or anything where they did that. I mean, it was real violence.
Wow.
It, and
Wow.
they got in their little truck and went away. But we got to hang out with them the day before. Uh, we didn't know how to hang out with a rock star. We'd never even seen anybody with long hair, and they had their accents and everything. They were swimming in the pool when we arrived at the hotel. And I'm like, wow, I've never seen that before. Have you ever seen? And so we were getting ready for the next day. We were putting our hair in curlers and cream on our face. And we had these, flannel nightgowns on. And they come to the door and we're like, they go, let us in. And we go, oh, we can't do that. We're, we're little virgins, we're like, we're in love with the Beatles. We didn't say that. But anyway, they were sitting there just looking at us like, well, this is not going to work. And I just can't imagine what would have happened if they didn't come in. But anyway, so, they just thought of us as silly girls, I guess. And so anyway, so they were smoking cigarettes. And the next day was the prom, your prom.
Right.
And everybody came back and went, well, here's a picture of me in the limousine and my big foofy dress and my corsage. And this is, what's his name again? And,
Oh
and,
my.
no. And I went, oh, I collected these cigarette butts from the Stones. Would you like to buy one? It's sold all of them.
That's great. Oh my
I played a
God.
lot of proms, but you know, it was in the band, not, being prom queen or, princess or anything, it's just not my thing.
You've had so many
But
pinch me moments that I can't wait to talk to you about, but I can't do this to you. I can't make you sit there and hold your phone while
I
you tell.
deserve it.
No, while you're telling
Wait
all
till my
these great
hand
stories.
turns purple or something.
So,
It's
all right. So
fine.
wait. You guys also opened for Three Dog Night when they were at the height of their fame too, right?
Absolutely. I have a funny story about that. Well, I think it's funny. Maybe at the time I didn't think it was so funny, but we're just like really novices, very naive. We didn't know what we were doing. And they were the big rock stars and stuff. We were in Europe and they said, oh, why don't we all go out and get a beer or something? And I'm like, okay. And, trying to be grown up and everything. And so we went to this place and we had beer and schnapps.
Oh my.
That's not nice. But I didn't know the difference. And so everybody was like really drunk. And we were in Germany and we got a cab cab driver didn't speak English and we didn't speak German. And so we were going, now, what was the name of our hotel? We couldn't remember. And so there was a big circle that went around where all the American hotels were. So they thought, oh, it must be here somewhere. And so for about an hour, we just laughed in the car and we would go try to say the name of the street, like Schlaffen Pliffenfloff. And we laugh, we go, we're going to be in real trouble if we don't get home. And our keys didn't have the name of the hotel or the telephone number, or the address or anything. So we were screwed, you know. But anyway, we finally,
Oh
the guy
my.
said, this is American hotels. So we thought, oh, okay. So we got out and we asked, is Three Dog Night here? You know, and they said, yes, they're staying here. So we all, came out of the cab. We're all standing in the elevator, ready to go to our rooms. And um, Chuck Negron passed out in the elevator.
Oh my.
I mean, really out. Like we had to drag him by his arms and legs down the hall
Oh my God.
because, I don't know, maybe he could have had a heart attack or a stroke or something. I didn't want to just leave him in the elevator,
Oh
I'm like,
my God.
that's not good. So we went, okay, whoever's room is the closest, that's where we're going to put him. And I
Oh,
went, of course it's mine, you know. So they put him
wait,
on the
Rosemary,
bed.
move your fingers in front of your face. There
Oh,
you go.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So we get him up on the bed. And we had been going to like Switzerland, all these places in Europe and everything. And we had these big Swiss spells and we were, trying to ring him and make him wake and shake up and throw water on his face just to see if he was alive.
Oh my God.
So I picked up my stuff and I went, I'm going to my keyboard player's bedroom. We are a girl band, and I just left him there. I didn't want to wake up with that surprise. So that
God.
this is what
Wow.
happens when you trust people you don't know. You're like, oh, sure, yeah, schnapps and beer, yeah.
Well,
But anyway,
but I can't even imagine because you spent most of your career probably being the only woman traveling with a lot of men, right?
I like that. That's fun. Except for you have no bobby pins. You can never borrow anything that you would from a girl that the guy would not have. And so, but you're everybody's girlfriend, just, in name only. But it was really fun. I mean, I just had a total blast. I loved
Oh,
every second of it. And we got to, when Jackson Browne, his, album came out, I think it was running on empty, we were recording live every night.
oh
And
my gosh.
we had the Warner Brothers jet. So, every day we were in a different country.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so it was like so disorienting because they didn't have the euro yet. And you think you have a bunch of money and it's really worth 15 cents. And I'm going to go to that bakery and get some coffee and a donut or something. And no, that was 3 days ago. You don't know where you are.
Wow.
And it was like so fast. And jets, we were always in private jet airports, so you don't have to go through customs and all of that. And there were some very cool jets there. Oh my God, we were all. Do you know who David Lindley is?
I know that
David
name.
Lindley was the guitar player for
Yes.
he played steel guitar with
Yes, yes,
Jackson.
yes.
and
Yes, I
and
do.
he
And I saw him today on videos with you, actually.
yes. And so anyway, we were like getting in the plane and he had his guitar with him. And I saw him open the case. And inside the case, he had all these gigantic Hershey bars and a small loaf of Wonder Bread. I went, isn't that going to get all over your strings and ruin your guitar? He goes, well, if we crash, I won't have to eat you.
Oh God. Oh my God.
I said, that was so kind of you to think of me that way.
Oh my.
I mean, we're flying over Switzerland, and there's a lot of mountains there. You could just smack into one pretty easily. And how would you survive? I don't know. I guess with Wonder Bread. No, but anyway, so we were in this one airport and we decided that, we're gonna take off and go. And two private jets on either side with some guys in them went, "Hey, Jackson, we're gonna show you something that's gonna blow your mind." And we went, "Okay." So we're going out on, the three of us with two jets on either side. They're talking, to each other and stuff. And here comes this giant mountain, right? And the top of it swivels open and two jets come flying out of it. We went,
What?
"What? What? Is this James Bond or what is?" But I found out later, I didn't know for many years, but in Switzerland, there isn't a lot of flat. Everything is inside a mountain, under a mountain, or right, or, something to do with the mountain. And so some of their jets come out through the mountaintop. And I was like,
Wow.
okay, anything can happen. Anything can happen out of here.
Wow.
How
How
wild?
did you meet Jackson? I know you were singing with Bonnie first, right?
Yes, Bonnie introduced me to him. Bonnie
So
was my door opener. She was my
how
mentor.
did, oh wait, was somebody, Jim asked,
With Linda
what
Robson.
songs did you sing with Ray Charles when he invited you into the studio? Do you remember what you sang with him?
Um, there was two albums actually, and he used me like a keyboard. He said, "Sing this," because he's blind, and I would
Right.
sing it. And he would stack me, and then he'd go, "Oh, okay, so I'm going to change that. Now I'm going to do this. Sing this," and I'd go, "Whatever Lola wants." I mean, I would sing anything he would tell me to sing, and then he'd stack it, and he'd go, "Okay, this is what we're going to do." And he was really fun to
Wow.
hang out with. And I think there was a picture of me laying on his piano, pretending to be,
Nice.
some singer or whatever. And so he was doing a duet album, and James was on one of them, and Gladys Knight was on one of them, and it was a couple albums, and then he died. I got to go to his funeral, which I thought was like, wow, how do you get to do that? And he had like 12 of these gigantic flower arrangements that were in the shape of a treble note. And those were
Oh,
his children from all over the place.
oh
That,
my.
it was like, wow, one of his sons became a minister and, of course. But it was really like I felt so grateful for that experience because I just couldn't believe, my sister had a jukebox and she had some of his original recordings on there, you know, when he was finding out who Ray Charles was. He even had one where he sounded like Nat King Cole.
Huh. Interesting. So did you come from a musical family? Were your parents musical? Were your siblings musical? I know you had a lot of siblings.
Yeah, but my mother was born in New Zealand. She was a twin, and her mother was a music teacher. She taught
Oh,
how to read and piano and singing and choir and all of that stuff. So if I have a gene, I probably got it from her. And my uncle also was a choir director and keyboard player and all that stuff. And my my family, my sister was very musical. She's still in choirs. She
wow.
played harp and recorder and viola, and but not necessarily professionally, you know. And my other sister Barbara can really sing too. She's a hoot. And Betty didn't sing. My two brothers didn't sing. They moved up to Orcas Island we went to school in Orange County and behind the orange curtain.
But wait, you were from back east though originally, weren't you?
I was born in Providence, and
Mhm.
when I was about 3 or 4 or something, uh, I was standing on the sofa. And in those days, they used to have the circus go through the neighborhoods to let everybody know, here comes the circus. They're going to be here. And all the kids are like, I want to go. I want to go. And I saw this lady who had all these sparkles all over her, and she was riding an elephant. And I said, Mom, I want to do that. She goes, oh. She always wanted me to be a flying uh, guitar playing nun.
Oh, wow.
I said, it's not going to happen, Mom. I'm sorry. You try it. But we did a lot of traveling. So, in the early years,
Well, your father was in the army. You were an army brat?
I was an army brat, attracted to small, shiny buttons. And so we lived on the.
Uh-oh, Rosemary. There you are.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
That's okay.
So, yeah, I mean, we lived we went across the country 4 times. And so we were getting to see, what life in America is like rather than just in one city or one
Right.
state or something. And that was good. And, I was used to traveling every day. So touring was just as natural as could be. I
And
was always,
did your parents support you being a musician?
well, they knew that I wanted to do it. And so they helped buy my uh, bass amp. I wanted to play bass. I wanted to be Paul McCartney.
And what
First, I
attracted
started
you
with
to
an
the
acoustic guitar.
did
What?
you on acoustic guitar? And was Paul the reason that you wanted to play bass? Yeah.
Yeah, well, somebody has to. I mean, there's a million girls that can play guitar, but not very many that can play bass and sing at the same time. And so it was
Uh-oh. We lost you.
sorry.
Come back.
Okay,
There you go.
when I was like a toddler, before I went to school, like kindergarten and all that, we lived in Fullerton. And there was a train that would go by our house, I mean, right by the house, really fast and very loud all the time. But I was bored. Everybody was in the backyard. We were just kids playing with our toys. And I thought it would be a good idea to go through this hole in the fence and explore. And so I luckily got past the railroad tracks, and I walked through an orange grove, and then I saw this building. And I went, oh, what's that? Because, I probably couldn't read or anything. So I went in there, and they had a guitar that was made out of a cigar box. And I thought, ooh, that's really cool. It's really old. And I went in, and I think that it was, I never knew his name. I never knew his wife's name. But I think it was the guy, Leo Fender. And he was
Wow.
sitting making carving and making the guitars. And he wasn't a great guitar player at all, but he loved making guitars. And
Huh.
I would help him pick out which pick guard and what stain it should be and all this sort of stuff.
Wow.
And then, I would sit on his lap, and he'd go, okay, are you ready? I'm going to play it now. And we went, oh, yes. And I went the guitar here and looked down the fretboard and all this stuff. I thought it was so cool. So when I got my first bass, I got to go there and pick one out, because they had a whole room that just had left-handed guitar basses, left-handed bass and neck and a body, because I wasn't very big. But this was when I was about 16 or something. And it's so funny because years and years and years later, I was called by Leo Fender's company, and they wanted that bass that I got to be on display.
Oh,
They have a museum. And I was like, well, he was dead by then, but it was like, they remembered me.
oh.
I don't know why they got my number or
Rosemary, wait,
how
your
they got
fingers in
it or
front of the.
anything.
You know what? All right, here,
Oh,
listen.
sorry.
You have too many great stories and you're too beautiful and it's too wonderful. And I'm so appreciative that you're doing this, holding the phone. But we're going to come back and we're going to do the rest of this when you don't have to hold your phone so that we can enjoy you in all your glory, because I know you're struggling to do
Well,
this
I
while you're
hope that
talking to us.
everybody will come, and
Everybody
they'll
will
trust me
come.
next time.
We will celebrate you and we will have a normal conversation. And maybe we'll even have you over to Snuffy in my house and we'll do it in person so you don't have to mess with the Zoom.
That would be nice.
We
That would
could,
be
yeah,
nice.
we could
Yeah.
do, yeah, we'll figure it out, or we'll make sure that your Zoom is up to date and you don't have this struggle.
And
But
I could even take phone calls.
and well, people are writing on the side. That's how I asked you. Somebody said, Tony said your Bertha, your slogan was Bertha has balls.
Right. Yeah. Well, we were rock and roll,
You were rock and
but it
roll,
was very controversial in those days.
and everybody's saying,
It
yes,
was like
we'll
just a joke.
come. They said, don't worry about it. They'll come back when you come back and they'll be here.
I've got
So,
funny stories about Bertha also.
well,
Some
we're going to come back and
doozies.
we're going to talk about Bertha and we're going to talk about how you met Bonnie and Jackson and all of them. And I can't wait to hear all your stories. And thank you so much for being such a trooper and sticking with it so that we could at least show everybody
Oh,
your beautiful self and
oh,
give them a little
thank you
joy
guys
tonight.
for it was so sweet of you to stay with me and still work it through. I don't even know how I got it, but anyway, we did it, and we'll do
We'll
it at your
figure it
house
out.
next time because
We'll
it'll be
next
so
time
much
we'll have it
easier.
all figured out and we won't have this trouble. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Rosemary.
Ever again.
And I'm gonna call you and we're
I'm
gonna
very
figure out another
honored,
time.
very honored.
I'm the one
Okay,
that's
and we'll
honored.
both wear feathers. We'll both wear our feathers.
Okay, good. All right, Rosemary, I'm
And
gonna
we'll sing
call you and
harmony.
we're gonna plan our next excursion.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Rosemary.
much.
Thank you.
Bye to
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Oh, I wanted to tell you that I'm also a vocal coach.
Oh, and wait. Oh, and
I'm
tell us
also a
when your
vocal
gig,
coach.
tell us about the vocal coach and tell us when your gigs are so everybody can come see you play.
Okay. Yeah,
Sing.
if you're in California.
Yeah.
Sing, yes. My birthday is the 6th,
Of
and there is
March?
a fundraiser of April.
Of April. Okay.
Uh, yeah, and it was Easter, and my mom would always say, "A rose from the dead."
Oh.
Went weird. But anyway, there's a gig on the 6th. It's at Louis, which used to be called Bogies, and that's in
Oh. Uh-huh.
Agora Hills. Agora
Yes. I
Hills.
didn't know that it had a new name. Okay.
Yes, yeah, new management and stuff. And then the other one is in Santa Barbara at Soho.
Okay. And when is that?
That is the 13th, I think. And we're doing this is with the band called The Tribe.
Yes.
It was like
We're going to talk about the tribe when you come back. And
okay.
we'll have you back before those two gigs so that you can talk about those gigs. We'll work
Oh,
that
that's
out.
very thoughtful of you.
I
Thank
think
you.
we can work that out. I'll
That'd
try
be
to.
great. But I do singing lessons all the time, every day, on Zoom or FaceTime
So
or in person.
you need your Zoom working anyway.
Yes,
See that?
of
There
course.
you go. There
Yeah,
you
I mean,
go.
I've had people in other countries. You just have to wake up earlier. but
So I will put the link to your website in the liner notes so that people can find you. So if they want to take a vocal lesson, they can reach you. That's the best way, right?
yes, yes, and because I was on the show, they'll get a special discount.
Ooh, that's even better. Well, I will
Okay.
make sure to put that in the, I will make sure to put that in the notes.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
Excellent.
you so much, everybody. Have a great day.